Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Reenie and this is the Enchanted Planner. Today we are planning in my classic vertical for the week of December 6th to the 12th. I'm going to use the Snowflakes in the Love Posh Winter Wonderland set and pair it with Cinderella. I wanted to do Cinderella a couple of weeks ago, but my winter boxes hadn't shown up yet from Mojo. But then they arrived and the colors didn't really match anyways. So it's all good. We went a different direction. Pulling out colorful boxes because the purples and the blues in there really match well. I want to also tie in some silver. I know I'm probably going to kick myself in the butt for this when I go to photograph this layout because we all know what foil is like to photograph, but when else can we use silver? Really, but like winter. I know it's not officially winter yet, but December to me is cold and wet here. I'm hoping we get snow before Christmas. That would be just stellar. We had snow on the solstice last year. It didn't stick around, but pretty magical. We had snow on the solstice, which was pretty cool. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping. But living in a rainforest, we have a lot of rain and then more rain and then more rain. We the UK have really high rates of seasonal affective disorder here because we have 7 months basically with not a lot of sun. It's part of living in this hemisphere. Okay, so I grabbed some washi. I grabbed a few different types, and what I ended up pulling out that worked the best was a purple and a blue that came in one of the pastel sets from the washi tape shop. It's really pretty. I just showed it there. The blue matches really, really well. And then of course that pastel purple works fantastic too. So I'm just trying to decide if I want to use the paper or if I want to use the clear stickers in here. The clear one would have been perfect because it tied in the silver a little bit better than the plain paper ones did because it didn't have any silver on them. But when I laid it out to set it down, it just didn't fit right. So we ended up going with paper on both of them because when I was trying to tie them in with the snowflakes, it just didn't quite work. So we went a different direction. Hey, it's my MO, man. Pull out a bunch of stuff, totally go a different direction. Right now I'm just collecting stickers that I think I want to use that really don't end up getting used. And I'm on the hunt for boxes. So I tap into the coordinating colorful boxes book that goes with these Disney princesses, and I wasn't really liking much of it because once again pretty much the poses are all the same, and I understand that Disney's probably only licensed to use certain images within, or sorry, Happy Planner is only probably allowed to use certain images within the licensing agreement that they have with Disney. So this is why we get repeats of the same shapes or same poses. So it is what it is. You can't do much about it. It is what it is. So I'm just flipping through trying to see if there's anything else that will work. And I was on the hunt because I knew there was silver quotes in here somewhere, and I finally found them in the first book I was in. Go figure, right? Brain farts. So I'm just trying to decide which quote I want to use, and I end up pulling out that one. And it works not too bad. I also collect these little sort of sparkly bits, and I figured they would pair in quite well. Sorry, my chair is obnoxious. I'm trying desperately not to move, but it has a mind of its own sometimes. So the quote that I pulled out says, "Leave a little sparkle everywhere you go." I know it's really hard to see because one, it's a very tiny script font, a scratchy script font at that. But, combined with it being foil, it's a little hard to see, but that is what the quote says. And it's cute and it works. And in the end, I'm super happy with this spread. I didn't really have a plan going in. Oh my Lord, this chair. I didn't really have a plan going in. I'm sorry about the chair. I'm desperately trying not to move. but I really like the end result, and I think you will too. There was, I think it must have been Desiree that did a spread similar to this last year sometime in probably the winter, because I know I had seen this somewhere, and in all likelihood it was probably Desiree, because, you know, she all my hero and stuff. her, Mary Ellen, there's a few. I think what it is because they were probably the first planners I came across on YouTube. Them and Heather Kell, because, you know, Heather Kell is everywhere. But I enjoy their planning styles. So it's a lot of the times it is them that I remember specific spreads when I'm trying to think of things, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I've seen this. So in likelihood, this was probably a spread that Desiree had done something very similar to, combining Cinderella with Snowflakes last year. If I'll try and remember to go looking, and if I can find the original layout that I'm thinking of that I saw, I will put it in the description. Actually, I should probably write that down. So I'm just trying to figure out how to lay in these snowflakes without them looking odd. We end up, well, we, meaning I, going a bit of a different direction with the placement of the snowflakes. I was going to bring them all around her, but it just didn't quite look the way I wanted it to. So I opted to use the sparkly bits around to create a little bit of depth and dimension. And I know that seems like a weird thing. I'm using sparkly bits to create depth and dimension. But hey, if you're a planner, if you know, you know, man. So I'm just trying to de-stickify some of this, because these are incredibly sticky stickers, and I knew I was probably going to have to lift them up to put things underneath them and whatnot. So I'm going to lay down the washi right now, because I didn't really want Cinderella to be just floating up there in the right-hand corner. She needed to be sitting on something. So we sit her down on some purple washi. It works. She's kind of sitting on a ledge with her feet dangling over. At least that's what I'm telling myself anyways. At least she's not floating in midair. That just, yeah, the brain just can't process that. I gotta have them standing on something or sitting on something. Yeah, they can't be midair. I don't think I'm the only one that's alone in that either. I hear other people talking about it. So I think we're all kind of in the same sort of mind frame for that. So I'm taking some of these larger snowflake pieces and I'm cutting them up. One, because I don't really want the aqua color in this spread, and two, because I can lay them in a bit differently when they're not in one big chunk. The only thing that I wish, looking at this sticker sheet, was that Jessica had made some smaller individual snowflakes instead of those. Like, there's a huge strip at the bottom. Well, I think it's running along the side of the sticker sheet, but it's meant for, like, you know, along the bottom of your planner spread kind of thing. I end up cutting apart some of it to get what I'm looking for, and it worked. And this is the thing, right? We make our stickers work for us. We make them work for what we need them to work for. So I'm just creating some little box clusters to sort of create balance. So I've got one going down in the lower right hand corner, and I can't figure out exactly how I want to lay it down. So I pull out the large sticker sheet, and this is where I decide to cut out a piece to see if I can get it to look the way I want it to go. And it didn't work. I cut off a chunk that I figured I could use in a corner there, but then my brain couldn't bend itself around the fact that snowflakes, like in that type of shape, wouldn't really be sitting on the ground. They would be more so falling from the sky. So I pulled out the original winter sticker book, and I decided I don't really like how they look. So we're going with the silver sparkly things around to get some placements, because they look far, far better than the, I mean, those snowflakes in that winter book are beautiful, but they just didn't really coordinate all that well, in my opinion, with what I was trying to bring to fruition with this spread, right? So we're playing, I'm looking at how I want to place down some of these box clusters, and I decide that we're going to put that quote down in that corner. And this quote is a little bit easier to read. It's even miracles take a little time. I don't know why none of these sticker books have the quote, a dream is a wish your heart makes. I haven't seen them. Maybe I've missed it, but in all of the quotes in all of the Disney books, I don't recall coming across that quote. That makes no sense to me because that's a pretty major Disney quote. A dream is a wish your heart makes. Like, that's kind of the standing pillar of what Walt, I think, built Disney around. Like, it was his dream, it was his wish, right? So it surprises me we don't have that quote in anywhere, but maybe I've missed it. If you know it exists, let me know which book it's in, because I pretty much have all the Disney books and I can't remember coming across it. So now I'm playing around to see if I want to put in the mice, and I decide against it because at this point right now, Cinderella's, just all in her own little la la land, and the mice are already up pulling on her dress in that other element up in the top right hand corner. So I didn't want to double up on the mice. You got Gus, and I can't remember the other one's name. Everybody remembers Gus because Gus is hilarious. So now we're slipping in some snowflakes, and we're just about ready, like slowly getting to the end of this planning, or this plan with me. The video was about 45 minutes long by the time all was said and done, so voiceover it is, because you guys know if it's around a half an hour, I don't mind it, but if it gets much more than that, I just have to do a voiceover. To me, those are a little bit on the long side. I mean, I will sit and listen to, an hour plan with me while I'm wandering around doing, kitchen cleanup or whatever, but I don't know if anybody else is like that. So we're just placing in some snowflakes just to create some little elements, decorative elements within the clusters. And I'm trying to get this guy lined up, and I'm like complaining about my eyesight at that point because I'm like, I can't freaking see what I'm trying to lay down, and I have all this light and I should be able to see, but then I realized my glasses weren't on. Oh, heaven help us, man. Can't see without your glasses. Not that I wear glasses all the time. I wear them for reading and finer detail stuff, but I'm finding as the older I get, the eyesight is not quite as good as it used to be. I can't really work on any of those fine details. My eyes just kind of bug out, man. So we're just looking at the last few elements, and I want to create one more box cluster up in that inner corner on the right hand side, because it doesn't look balanced. So I wanted to have something there to balance out the spread. And I know that the rule is thirds, but it doesn't always work. To me, I didn't like the fact that there was that big gaping hole there with nothing. So in a box cluster went. So we're just cleaning up a couple of snowflakes. And when I finished filming, I actually picked up that snowflake and trimmed right around it because I didn't like how rough it looked. So if you take a look closer on the plan with me, the picture on Instagram today, you'll notice it's been cleaned up. I cleaned up quite a bit after I finished filming. I pulled up the boxes and, ran the jelly roll down, or the Signo Uniball down behind to black out the line or white out the lines because they were showing through the boxes really bad. So I'm just cleaning up the last few snowflakes, and then we should be just about finished, buddies. So tell me, are you excited for like Christmas? Do you celebrate Christmas? This should be a fairly busy month, I think, for most. I'm trying to get as much content created ahead of time as I can, because it is going to be a very busy month for me as well. I've got a program I'm going to be launching in January for my fitness business. So I got a lot of stuff to do. Oh my God, that sticker. So I went to place down the quote, and I didn't want to place it there. I was just wanting to see what it looked like. Well, then it like stuck, and then the whole thing decided to like fly out of my hand and land on the page. And it was ironic because after I pulled it up, with the undo, I ended up putting it back almost identically to where it landed to begin with. It was like, yeah, it was just like magic. The sticker just flew out of my hand as if it was meant to be there, because that's where I ended up putting it in the end anyways. It's kind of funny, actually. I was laughing like, oh Lord, stickers have a mind of their own. So I'm just trying to see if there's any last and final elements. Like I said, I'm mentioning there that I want to clean up that snowflake after I finish filming. But that's it for this plan with me, you guys. Let me know if you like it. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon. Ciao!